to the Purest Sports Show here, brought to you by Eaton Evans and Morris. And we have a very special guest joining us here for the second part of the show. It is the amazing Heather Warner, which kind of confused most of us with the surname there. It's like, hang on, who is this guest? This is a new athlete we have in Pembrokeshire. But yes, Heather, thank you very much for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. Right then,
thank you for having me. It's a real honour. Yeah, thank you.
There, you're very welcome. So I'll take it. I'm thinking, who should we start with? Who wants to talk to Heather first?
Well, firstly, I think, congratulations. We haven't actually had you on the show since the Commonwealth Games last year. I know we go back as far as August now, and fifth with a British record in the 10K. What was your feeling afterwards? Was there obviously elation at your performance? A record performance in a major championship speaks for itself. Was there a tinge of disappointment that it didn't take you into the top three and the podium as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think that the whole time going into it, that was what we really wanted was to get hopefully a medal. But the quality of the race was incredible. And yeah, I was really pleased with the performance, and just the atmosphere around was just insane. Like, it was just such an incredible race. One I'll definitely never forget, and probably the best race I've ever done. So I was really proud. I was really proud when I finished. When I reflected, yeah, of course, there were things that I might have done differently, but it might have not changed the place at all. So yeah, I can't dwell on that too much, but yeah, it was fantastic. So yeah.
Going into it, when you're an athlete, did you get a sense that I'm going in on the top of my game here and I've got a chance of performing better than I ever have done before, which of course you did in terms of time? Did you feel that was within you?
Oh, 100%. So I did a 3-week training camp up in the mountains in Italy. So I had a really good 3-week training block. Unfortunately, I actually was a little bit tired. I kind of got neural fatigue. I probably trained a bit too hard in some respects. So I was a little bit nervous going into it because I actually didn't feel very fresh until literally a few days before the race. So confidence-wise, it was a bit strange because I knew I was in fantastic shape, but when you're not feeling 100%, it was a bit strange. But as soon as I hit the line, I did feel incredible and amazing. But I do wish I did feel a little bit better going into the race. But that's just all part of being an athlete, and you do experience that, and it's all part of it. So yeah, but otherwise it was I couldn't wait, and it was brilliant. And I'm so glad that I felt good on the race day. Yeah.
And obviously, you've been in major championships before in places like Australia, Germany, and so on. Did it make a big difference being in the UK? Did you feel that home support? I say home support, obviously you were over the bridge, but say UK support.
Yeah, it's so funny. Everyone was like, "Oh, you're not going anywhere too exotic for it." But it's just so nice that my family got to come with me and support me. That was just so amazing for them because they're so busy and working really hard at home. So for them to travel abroad is so hard. So Birmingham, as much as it was Birmingham, it was really good actually to be kind of like in a way local and have a lot of Welsh supporters. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, Heather, congratulations on the result last year. It was a fantastic performance, to be fair, to come fifth. It's an incredible achievement and one you should be proud of, rightly proud of. Anyway, you've had a little bit of downtime. I believe you got married, judging by your surname. And what is the goal for this season now? Can you tell our listeners what is the goal for this season? Hopefully, get a medal somewhere along the way.
Oh yeah, hopefully. So obviously, I'd like to keep that profile of being the top in Britain and keeping that ranking. I really want to achieve some sort of personal best this year, improve my 20K time and hopefully my 10 as well. And yeah, hopefully if I can do that, I will hopefully have a chance to go. I keep saying hopefully, sorry, go to the Olympics.
Don't say hopefully.
So next year,
you will.
I know I will. So it's a big goal. But I'm here to perform now this year. I'm getting myself into really good shape. I am racing slightly later this year. I'm going to race in April. My first race probably end of April, maybe a little bit before that. And there's European race walking champs as well. So hopefully do really well there and maybe place high up, hopefully. And then can get some good times ready for the Olympics for next year. So this year is a quieter year than last year, but it's still obviously a very important year for me.
Obviously, you're the big star as far as Pembrokeshire Harriers are concerned now. You're the main athlete. But I have to say, Heather, that you've inspired a youngster that we had on a few weeks ago.
Gracie Griffith.
Gracie Griffiths, yeah, Gracie, and she was telling us how much you've helped her along the way, and obviously she took part in a big event yesterday, which you can tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, so she did amazing. She went to the British Indoor Athletics Championships, which you have to have an invite for, so you can't just turn up, or you need to do a standard for it. And then she actually got 3rd place, so she did brilliant. Got an indoor PB as well. And she's a junior, so she was against a lot of seniors there. So she did fantastically, and she's gaining experience all the time. And I actually think she's going to have a fantastic year this year. She's going to have a go at a 10K, so a little bit longer than she's used to. She's going to have a go at that in March now. So yeah, she's just brilliant, and she really does train hard. And yeah, she's got a really good career ahead of her.
Will coach and pupil ever be on the line in Commonwealth Games together?
I don't think so. I think because of my business at home with my family, as much as I'd love to say I would struggle to keep not going forever, but I have to admit I'm very lucky to have so many things in my life. So I'd like to support, and I'd be worried that Gracie beat me, and I really don't want that.
I mean, I said,
coach.
Touching on what you talked about with Gord there, and the obvious target now of Paris 2024 Olympics, in terms of the qualification criteria or the standards set, how does that differ from the manner in which you qualified for the Commonwealth Games, Heather?
Yeah, so it is a kind of similar basis. It goes off a time standard where you can automatically qualify through a time, but it's also on rankings as well. So if you're ranked highly and they need enough on the start list, you can get an invite, and then it's whether British Athletics accept that. It's over 20k for the Olympics. Sorry, it's 20k distance for the Olympics, not 10. So it is a slightly different distance. And last year, I have to admit, I think we were very much targeting the Commonwealth Games. So I did target 10 more than 20. And this year it is, so it will be more targeted at 20 this year for me. So hopefully I can bring my time down. I was hoping to last year, but like I said, I didn't do massively, like loads of 20k. So I didn't get a huge amount of chance to improve it. So hopefully this year I can do that. I will, definitely.
And for the listeners, I say the listeners and people in the studio actually maybe not familiar with the training regime, what goes into what you just described to us, a familiar week.
Oh yeah, it's quite busy. So I'm doing about so in miles, because I know most people work off miles. I do about 70 to 80 miles per week of training. So it is very similar training to a running, half marathon or marathon runner. So you can say I do probably about 2 to 3 marathons a week of training, and then that's including 2 hard sessions which I do on the track to do race pace work. And then I also have to incorporate some gym work as well. So I do gym at least twice a week, just to keep mostly injuries away and keep my strength up. And and then of course I need to rest and recover. But when you live on a family farm in the winter, helping on the farms, and then in the summer we've got a family farm park business. So I help manage that as well. So it is busy, but I enjoy all aspects of it. And I just hope that I can show people that you can sort of train and work. You can do both, hopefully. Well, I do. So I think you can.
Classic Pembrokeshire conundrum, that.
Brilliant, yeah. I was going to say, Heather, you were saying that you concentrated more on the 10k and now it's moving up to 20k. I was going to say that's a big difference in race, the length of race. But now what you've told me, how much you're training in the week and how far you're going, it's not a big transition, I wouldn't have thought.
No, it's definitely not. It's literally just the target sessions are slightly different. So it would be just that I do sessions targeted at 20k. And when I say sessions, that's the race pace sessions rather than the 10,000 meter ones would be targeted for that. So to be honest, like I did race really good over 20k last year as well, but I think the speed and things was just like a bit more targeted at 10 last year. So yeah, and the races were as well. So I was peaking for 10s, not 20s. Yeah.
So just like to clarify, actually, if you're doing these trainings in our very unflat county that is Pembrokeshire, is it a bit of an extra dimension of training, the fact you have to go up and down so many steep hills in the county that actually help with you doing the big events?
Oh, it definitely is strength-wise so good for me. Because like you said, there is nowhere around me and I do have to go really local. So I just go on back farm roads and just do as much as I can. And I do try and find the flattest area, but it's definitely not.
Yeah,
and then when I race,
geological
everything
nature,
is
it's not
always
going to happen.
Yeah. No,
you still train on the track then, Heather, do you? You still train on the track?
Yeah, I do.
Because I was wondering why the lights on are still at 10 p.m. at night. I know why. I know why now. It's you still walking around it.
I know. I find it really hard because I turn up early to start. Like, so the Pembrokeshire Harriers come at 6, and I go a bit earlier, about 5:05, and I'm still there, and everyone's left, and I think, oh my goodness, I'm still going. But yeah, it's long sessions, but it's really nice to be part of the Pembrokeshire Harriers group actually, and to see some of the youngsters coming up are fantastic. Like there's definitely a few coming up that will be doing really well and definitely going to the Commonwealth Games in a few years because there's a lot of potential. It's really nice to see.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The actual sport of race walking is almost quite niche in terms of athletics, isn't it? How did you get into it? When did the point come when you decide to compete in that? Is it something you set out from the start, or I'm going to suspect now, and correct me if I'm wrong, you started off as a runner and transitioned into that?
Yeah, 100%. So I was really lucky. Us girls, I've got 3 sisters. We were all really into sport, and mum and dad did encourage it and bring us to loads of different, gymnastics, athletics. And we all did really enjoy the endurance running. We did cross countries and things. And to be honest, I was a bit jealous of my sisters because they were very good runners and I was a good runner, but they were younger than me and they were beating me. So I thought, I was asked if I wanted to do a race walking 1K for points. And I thought I'll give it a go for a bit of a change and for fun. And I actually got the technique really naturally, which is like quite good because it is a really difficult technique. So I thought, you know what, this might be my thing. So I did just sort of got some support from Martin Bell, who was the coach at the time and the judge. And started from there then. And I couldn't believe it. It just went from me being a runner to, actually I'll change and do race walking instead. And it just developed. And I was training then, every day kind of thing. And now look where I am. I'm still doing it now. I love it.
And we talked about your work with Gracie, and we had her on this show before Christmas, actually. And is that something that once you've, I was going to say, walked away from the sport yourself, then I don't mean that's a terrible cliche, but once you've retired from the sport, whenever that day comes, is full-time coaching something you'd be interested in going into?
So I 100% will support Gracie. She's brilliant. I definitely need to concentrate on our business at home. It's really, really busy. So I will always encourage and help as much as I possibly can with anyone who's interested, because I really want race walking to be a bit more known and for anybody who fancies it to give it a go. But unfortunately, to do it at such a high level, so I will definitely take her as far as I possibly can. But, I can't commit massively. But yeah, at the same time, I will hopefully do my absolute best for her. And I'll give her as much help as I can, even if it's by putting other people into play to help as well. Yeah.
But Clerkenhill will come before a coaching clinic.
Also, the frisbee side there is very important.
But I do love that. Yeah, no, not at all. I will definitely support any people interested. Yeah.
That's good to hear.
So, actually, a question for you, Heather. If, when you get to Paris, if you see a PWR flag, will you give us a heck of a wave if we end up actually in the stands?
Oh, of course. Gosh, yeah, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? You know, I'm really excited, and hopefully a few of my family and friends can all come as well, and it would be brilliant, wouldn't it? And yeah, nice trip to Paris. So
Yeah, I think
sure.
I better get my
fingers
holidays booked
crossed.
for next year actually at work, because that sounds good to me. A trip to Paris with sport as well, watching local athletes, tick in the box, instant win.
Aw,
Beats Birmingham, to be fair.
yeah,
true,
that
yeah.
would be amazing.
Well, I'm not sure which has got the worst traffic though.
No, good point, good point.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Heather, thank you very much indeed for joining us on this. It's an absolute pleasure and a privilege to have you on for this. And it's saying, you're saying about hopefully getting speed walking getting more prevalence. You know, I have actually seen it. I remember there was a BBC article which re-picked it forwards from the Commonwealth Games, and I think you were the poster girl for that actually. So it's great seeing it getting more and more. So you're getting there more and more, because I remember that being on BBC Wales at the time, because it was a big thing we're looking at for what we had in Pembrokeshire. I was informed that, yeah, this got this Go Feather. Looked at the article, oh, fantastic. And if I recall, I think we watched it in work as well. So it's definitely getting bigger. So if you pardon the pun, there are steps being taken forwards every single time we go to a big event. So it is definitely working.
Oh, brilliant. No, thank you. That's great. Hopefully, yeah, definitely. It's definitely starting to get there.
Yeah, well, there we are. So with that, we're going to hop into our next track with a little bit of Alesso and Katy Perry with When I'm Gone. Heather, thank you very much indeed. It's an absolute pleasure. We'll catch you hopefully a little bit later, maybe with a medal at some point in 2024, which you'll wait and see.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Good to speak to you, Heather.
Cheers, Heather.
Thank you.